Did you wake up today feeling perfectly fine? That's great. But have you ever wondered how one small everyday habit could quietly affect your brain health, especially after age 60? In this video, we'll explore a surprising connection between certain fruits and increased health risks in older adults. This isn't to alarm you, but to empower you with knowledge that could help protect your long-term well-being, or that of someone you care about. As we age, the body changes, kidneys slow down, blood vessels become more fragile, and the medications we take may interact in ways we don't always expect. When you combine these factors with specific fruits, especially in the wrong amounts or at the wrong time, they can quietly contribute to issues like memory decline, blood pressure crashes, or even silent strokes. Today, we'll walk through 9 common fruits that may affect your health after 60 and explain how to enjoy them safely. Before we dive in, if you're over 60 and care about protecting your brain, heart, and independence, be sure to hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss an important update. If this video helps you, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, drop a 0 and let us know how we can make it better for you. Let's begin. 1. Bananas. Too much potassium too fast. Bananas seem harmless, soft, easy to digest, full of potassium. Doctors even recommend them for heart health. But here's the catch. After 60, your kidneys can't flush out potassium the way they used to, especially if you're taking common medications like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or diuretics, aka water pills. Too much potassium builds up in your bloodstream. And when that happens, it's like flipping a switch inside your arteries. Your heart rhythm destabilizes. Your vessels constrict. Clots form where they shouldn't. And if that clot travels to your brain, it's lights out. I had a patient, Mr. Raymond, age 66, retired carpenter, healthy, still walked 2 miles a day. Every morning he'd slice a banana onto his oatmeal, wash it down with orange juice, and take his blood pressure pills. One morning, his wife found him collapsed on the bathroom floor. His speech was slurred. His left side was paralyzed. Blood tests showed dangerously high potassium levels, made worse by his meds. That innocent banana habit, it nearly killed him. Takeaway: limit bananas to half per day. Always eat them with protein, like yogurt or nuts. Never eat them before bed. Talk to your doctor if you're on kidney or heart meds. 2. Grapes. The sugar bombs. You didn't see coming. They're tiny, they're sweet, and they feel totally harmless. But for someone over 60, especially if you have insulin resistance or take medications, grapes can silently be one of the most dangerous fruits you eat. Why? Because grapes are pure, fast-digesting sugar. Each handful sends a surge of glucose and fructose directly into your bloodstream. That spike causes insulin resistance, vessel inflammation, sticky blood, the perfect recipe for a stroke. Take Mrs. Morris, 80, retired school teacher, sharp as a tack, loved her morning routine, coffee, crossword puzzle, and a big bowl of red grapes. Until one day, her hand wouldn't move. Her words came out jumbled. At the hospital, a mini stroke. Her blood sugar had been spiking every morning, inflaming the delicate arteries in her brain. Her A1C had crept into pre-diabetic range, and she had no idea. Takeaway: never eat grapes alone. Pair them with fat or protein, like cheese or almonds. Keep it to a small handful max. If you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, avoid them entirely. 3. Pineapple. A sweet, acidic storm. Pineapple tastes like sunshine. It's sweet, tropical, refreshing, and packed with an enzyme called bromelain, which supposedly helps digestion. But here's the hidden truth. Bromelain can also thin your blood, reduce platelet function, and interfere with clotting, especially dangerous if you're taking aspirin, Plavix, warfarin, or any heart blood thinner. That's not all. Pineapple also contains 16 plus grams of sugar per cup. High acid levels, which can cause nighttime reflux. Reflux during sleep doesn't always feel like heartburn. In seniors, it often causes silent aspiration, where small amounts of acid sneak into your airways, lowering brain oxygen. Over time, this can increase your risk of early morning strokes, which are often fatal. Mrs. Clara, 77, used to eat pineapple as a healthy dessert. One morning, she woke up foggy and off balance. Stroke. Her blood showed elevated sugar, low platelets, and signs of nocturnal oxygen loss, all from pineapple. Takeaway: eat only early in the day, never before bed, never with blood thinning meds, and always limit to a few small slices, not a bowl. 4. Watermelon. Not as hydrating as you think. Watermelon is 90% water. It should hydrate you, right? Not exactly. Watermelon is a natural diuretic, which means it actually makes you lose water and salt. For a 25-year-old, no problem. But for someone over 60, especially on diuretics or BP meds, it can cause sudden dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, dangerously low blood pressure. Mr. Jameson, 72, had a nightly routine: big bowl of cold watermelon before bed. One morning, he collapsed in the kitchen. He hadn't had a stroke, but his blood pressure had dropped to 88/55, cutting off oxygen to his brain while sleeping. Takeaway: only eat during the day. Pair with salt or protein. Never before bed. Avoid large portions if you're on water pills or BP meds. 5. Oranges. Sneaky medication disruptors. Orange juice is marketed as the healthiest drink on the planet. But for people over 60, especially those on blood pressure meds, statins, or blood thinners, it can be a silent killer. Why? Because oranges, and especially their juice, contain compounds called furanocoumarins. These block liver enzymes, which means your medication doesn't break down properly. Result: your pills build up in your bloodstream, and one day your blood pressure tanks or your blood thins too much, and you collapse. Mrs. Davis, 79, used to drink a tall glass of OJ with her morning meds. One day, she fainted outside the supermarket. A stroke. Her statin levels were 3x too high, and her sugar had skyrocketed. Takeaway: avoid juice, especially with meds. Eat whole oranges with the fiber. Separate citrus from medication by at least 3 hours. Ask your pharmacist if your meds interact with citrus. 6. Cherries, sweet sleep, or silent stroke. Cherries are often praised for their sleep-promoting powers. They're full of melatonin, taste amazing, and feel like a harmless nighttime treat. But for people over 60, especially those dealing with blood pressure, blood thinners, or heart meds, cherries can be a dangerous bedtime snack. Here's why. Cherries are rich in natural sugars that spike your blood sugar just as your body begins its nightly wind down. Combine that with melatonin, and you may fall asleep faster, but your blood vessels are under silent stress. Even worse, cherries, especially tart cherries, contain salicylates, compounds that thin the blood, much like aspirin. In the wrong body, they can lead to bruising, internal bleeding, or worse, a hemorrhagic stroke. Mr. Garrison, 74, used to drink tart cherry juice every night to help with arthritis and sleep. Then came the night he didn't wake up on time. He'd suffered a microbleed in his brain, too small for pain, but big enough to affect his memory, balance, and speech. Blood work revealed excessive thinning caused by his juice and his blood pressure meds colliding. Takeaway: skip tart cherry juice if you're on blood thinners. Limit cherries to a few, eaten earlier in the day. Never eat a bowl before bed. Talk to your doctor if you use them for arthritis or sleep. 7. Dried fruits. Concentrated danger in every bite. Dried fruits might look like healthy snacks. They're marketed as natural, portable, and fiber-rich, but they're also concentrated sugar bombs, stripped of water and packed with calories, fructose, and sulfites, a triple threat to aging arteries. Let's talk numbers. A single cup of fresh grapes contains 23 grams of sugar. A cup of raisins, over 85 grams. And when you remove the water, those sugars absorb faster, causing sugar spikes, vascular inflammation, and silent damage to your brain's fragile capillaries. Then there's the preservatives, like sulfites, used to keep dried fruits looking fresh. For seniors, sulfites can trigger headaches, dizziness, and allergic-like vascular responses, especially in those with asthma or sensitivities. Mrs. Lennox, 76, loved her dried fruit mix, apricots, dates, raisins. She snacked while watching her afternoon shows. One evening, she stood up, turned, and fell. ER tests showed erratic blood sugar, low pressure, and a small vessel tear in her cerebellum. Takeaway: avoid dried fruits unless your doctor approves. If you eat them, limit to 1 TBSP max. Always pair with protein or fat. Skip anything with sulfites, especially if you're sensitive. 8. Mango, tropical, sweet, and inflammatory. Mangoes are delicious, exotic, and full of vitamins, but they're also one of the highest sugar fruits on earth, clocking in at over 45 grams of sugar per fruit. For seniors with prediabetes, diabetes, or vascular issues, mangoes can overwhelm your insulin response, spike your blood sugar, and trigger low-grade inflammation that leads to stroke risk over time. But that's not all. Mango contains urushiol, a compound also found in poison ivy. In sensitive individuals, especially with weakened immunity or on certain meds, this can lead to rash, inflammation, and even immune overreactions inside the body. Dr. Patel, a cardiologist I work with, told me about a patient, Mr. Singh, 68. He loved mango lassi, especially in summer, but over time he developed strange itching, blood pressure swings, and finally, a clot that led to a stroke, all traced back to mango-induced inflammation. Takeaway: limit mango to 1-2 cup max, not full fruits. Never eat with carbs or sugary drinks. Watch for strange rashes or reactions. Avoid completely if diabetic or on immunosuppressants. 9. Apples, good fiber, bad timing. Yes, apples have fiber. Yes, they can support heart health, but they're also high in pectin, fructose, and acidic compounds. And when eaten at the wrong time, they can trigger gas, bloating, sugar spikes, and even acid reflux. That might not sound serious until you realize that reflux during sleep can reduce oxygen to the brain, stress your arteries, and increase your risk of microclots while sleeping. Also, apple juice, a hidden trap. Most commercial versions are filtered, stripped of fiber, and have as much sugar as soda, without the label. Mr. Walters, 81, drank apple juice with dinner every night. One morning, he couldn't lift his arm. It wasn't a major stroke, but it was a warning. His A1C was up, blood vessels inflamed, and he had no idea it was from juice. Takeaway: eat whole apples, never juice. Pair with fat or protein to slow absorption. Avoid at night, especially if you have reflux or take heart meds. If bloated, gassy, or lightheaded, cut back immediately. Final thoughts. What's healthy changes after 60. When you were 30, your body could handle sugar, potassium, and acid like a pro. But once you hit 60, every system slows down. Kidneys don't filter as well. Vessels are thinner and more fragile. Medications interact in ways that amplify small mistakes. And your brain becomes more vulnerable to blood pressure changes, clotting, and inflammation. That means even a bowl of fruit, if it's the wrong kind, in the wrong amount, at the wrong time, can trigger a stroke, a collapse, or long-term cognitive decline. Here's what to do next. Stick to low-sugar fruits, berries, green apples, kiwi. Always eat fruit with protein or fat to slow sugar spikes. Avoid eating fruit before bed. Stay away from juices, dried fruits, or bowls of tropical fruits. And most importantly, talk to your doctor about how your meds interact with fruit, because what was once healthy might now be quietly dangerous. Still here? Drop a 100 in the comments if you found this eye-opening. And if you want more doctor-backed tips to protect your brain, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.